what is the spiritual dream meaning of baptism? What does it actually take to let your old life drown so you can choose to rise?
The answer, it's wrapped up in the story of a woman named Simone Weil, a 20th century philosopher, a mystic. Her whole life was basically an answer to that question.
Okay, so picture this. Simone Weil is born into this, comfortable, privileged life in Paris. She's brilliant, one of the smartest people of her generation. And what does she do? She systematically tears it all down. She gives up a cushy teaching job to go work in a factory, feeling the grit and the grime. She literally starved herself to stand with refugees. And this wasn't just some political statement. No, this was a complete personal dismantling. It all led to this intense mystical experience she had in 1938. And then, at just 34, she dies because she refused to eat more than the tiny rations her own people were getting in occupied France.
She was shedding the Simone who hid behind all that intellectual armor. She was ripping apart every identity that had been handed to her. And what was left? What emerged? A woman who decided to suffer with people, who operated from a totally different place, a logic based purely on love.
And that, right there, is baptism. It's not some gentle, quiet ritual. It's a violent rupture. It is a rebirth that costs you absolutely everything you thought you were.
So look, this isn't just some history lesson about a French philosopher. When you dream of baptism, that is your own psyche, your own soul, sounding an urgent alarm.
So yeah, what does it mean when this incredibly powerful, kind of violent symbol of rebirth just shows up while you're sleeping?
Let's be clear, your subconscious isn't just decorating. It's not throwing in some pretty religious scenery for fun. It is sounding a 5-alarm fire. It's issuing a summons. What it's telling you is that some part of you is ready to die. Your old life and identity that just doesn't fit anymore, it's gotta go. Because something new, something real and authentic is absolutely desperate to be born.
And look, this whole death and rebirth thing, it isn't just poetry. It's not a metaphor. We're getting into the real, deep psychology of surrender here.
And don't you dare think this is some abstract academic concept. No way. This is about survival, plain and simple.
What your dream is showing you is something that Jungian psychology calls individuation. It's the painful, but completely necessary work of shedding that false self you've built up over the years, all so you can finally get to the true one.
So what's the difference? Well, the false self is that performance you put on, right? That suit of social armor you wear for everyone else. But the true self? That's the raw, authentic person underneath it all. It's the difference between living to protect yourself and living like Simone Weil did from a place of love.
And right now, in you, that conflict between the false and the true self, it's hitting a breaking point.
Your dream, that baptism, it is your psyche drawing a hard line in the sand.
So the question is, will you cross it?
But wait, there's another piece to this puzzle, and it's a big one. You can't do this in a vacuum.
See, real transformation is 3 parts. First, you have to go under. You let the old self dissolve. But the next part is crucial. You have to be seen. You need a witness. It's only then that you can rise up and build that new self. We're just not wired to change in silence.
So I want you to think about your dream right now. Was there anyone else there? A witness? A community? Was there any kind of presence there holding that space for you? Because if you were alone in that dream, well, that's the message right there. The absence is the message. It means you're trying to do this massive, life-altering change in secret. And some deep part of you knows that's not going to work. It's a warning. You cannot do this alone. And all of this, it brings us to the absolute core of it, the final demand your soul is making.
Why does any of this matter so much? Because, let's be honest, most of us are doing this every single day. We are living inside of a version of ourselves that just doesn't fit anymore. We accommodate everyone else. We swallow our own needs. We keep our relationships stable, even if it's killing us. We show up to careers that feel like we're just playing a part. That baptism dream, it's your soul's final refusal. It is your soul screaming that it will not accept that arrangement for one more day.
And it's not asking you, it's not making a polite suggestion, it is telling you. You're being told, summoned, to let that old version of you finally go under the water. So the only question left, the only one that matters, is how long are you going to wait before you answer?
Part 2. So let's get one thing straight. Your dreams are not polite suggestions. They are urgent, non-negotiable conversations your soul is demanding you have. They're about transformation, and they expect an answer. All right, first up, the call to consciousness. These are the dreams that are basically shaking you awake, telling you it's time to consciously choose who you are and what you're going to bring into this world. If you're having this dream, it's a signal. Your soul is telling you to stop living the life someone else handed you. That identity you got from family, from culture, it's time to consciously claim your own. This is about your choice right now. And this isn't just a thought experiment, it's homework. Step 1, write down 3 of your real core values. Now what do you think they should be? Step 2, look at how you actually spend your days. And step 3, that gap you see, that's your assignment. Now, dreaming of a child being baptized, this is about vulnerability. But it's not about your past. It's about something new and fragile in your life right now. An idea, a project, a relationship. It's brand new, and that means it can easily be crushed. Your dream is holding this new thing up and asking you directly, are you going to protect this? Are you going to nurture it? Because new life needs deliberate care. You need to identify what that new thing is and ask what it needs from you that you've been holding back. Okay, now for the flip side, because sometimes that call to change comes and the ego just digs its heels in and screams no. These dreams are about that fight, that internal war against your own evolution. This one isn't subtle at all. A refusal in the dream is a direct mirror of a refusal in your waking life. There is a decision you won't make, a conversation you're avoiding, a truth you refuse to look at. Your psyche is holding up a giant neon sign. And you already know what it is, don't you? The dream is just making it impossible to ignore. The work here is brutally simple. Name it. Say it out loud. Write it down. Just the act of naming it breaks the spell of avoidance and starts to dissolve its power. This dream is a warning. It's about a violation of your agency. Something in your life, a controlling partner, a toxic job, a family system, is demanding you change on their terms. It's demanding you perform a version of yourself you never chose. You have to counter this. But the work isn't to have a huge fight. It's to quietly reclaim your territory. Set one small but real boundary. Say no to one request. Take back one piece of your time. Start there. Drowning, being interrupted, not coming back up. This dream is just your deepest fear playing out. What if I don't survive my own transformation? What if I lose myself completely? It's self-sabotage, pure and simple. So here's the challenge. Your fear is masquerading as wisdom, telling you it's too dangerous to change. You have to ask, is this a real prediction of disaster? Or is it just a clever mechanism to protect you from the discomfort of growth? You have to learn to tell the difference. Now let's talk about the environment of the dream, because the water itself is carrying a huge message about the kind of transformation you're facing. The quality of the water is the quality of your current emotional state. It's really one of two paths. Murky water isn't a bad dream, it's an honest one. It's saying, look, you can't see the whole path, but you have to act anyway. You only have enough certainty for the next step. But clear water? That's the green light. Your soul and your mind are on the same page. The time for thinking is over. Go. And what if the setting is strange? An ocean, a river, a bathtub? The setting is the message. An ocean means vast, irreversible change. A river is about embracing the flow. And a bathtub, well, that means this is intimate, private work that nobody else needs to see. All right, we're rounding the final corner. These last dreams aren't just about you. They're questioning your role, your action, or your inaction in your own life and in the lives of people you care about. So you're the one baptizing someone else? The dream is forcing you to ask a tough question. Are you a supporter or are you an enabler? Real support helps someone become independent. Enabling just creates dependency because you're shielding them from the very pain that would force them to grow. You have to get brutally honest with yourself here. When you protect someone from the consequences of their choices, from the pain they need to evolve, is that truly love? Or is it an act of control designed to keep them exactly where you're comfortable with them being? And then there's this one. It's just full of a quiet ache. You're standing on the shore of your own life, watching everyone else jump in while you just spectate. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment, for permission, but really, You're just waiting. This is the only possible answer. The right moment is a miss. Choose one arena, your career, a relationship, your health, and commit to actually participating. Not next month, this week. So when you boil it all down, after all these different dreams, what's the one single message that connects every single one of them? Here's the fundamental truth. Change is coming for you. The only choice you actually have is whether you participate in it consciously or whether life forces it on you while you're kicking and screaming. That's it. That is the whole message. Your dreams are not a puzzle to be solved. They are a choice being handed to you. Take it.
Part 3. Practical Applications.
Look, your psyche has just handed you this incredible piece of intelligence. So what are you going to do with it? You have to use it. Because waiting, that's how transformation dies on the vine. We're not doing that. We're not waiting. All right, enough with the theory. It's time to get our hands dirty. We're moving from knowing to doing. These are fast, practical tools for the work you have to do alone for yourself. Okay, so you've got 4 paths in front of you. You only have to choose one. You feeling like the writer? Then it's time for a final goodbye. More in your body? We're talking about a conscious ritual. Are you the creative type? Then you're going to make an honest-to-God map of your soul. And for the spirit, well, that's a daily, non-negotiable appointment with your own inner world. Pick one. Let's be really clear about something. This isn't just some dramatic theater piece. That burial letter? It's raw cognitive behavioral therapy. Writing it and then physically putting it away, that literally encodes a new reality in your brain. This is not symbolic, okay? It's structural. It's rewiring. So you need to do it tonight. Not next week, tonight.
And hey, the exact same principle applies to that ritual bath. You're not just playing with candles and water, you're being neurologically strategic. There's a whole field of science called embodied cognition that basically just confirms what ancient wisdom has known forever. When you tie a physical act to a powerful intention, you create real, measurable psychological change. It gets into the parts of you that just thinking about it can never, ever touch.
Okay, a really crucial reframe here. If you chose the creative tool, the before/after map, you have to let go of any idea that this needs to be pretty. It doesn't. You are not making art. I'm going to say that again. You are not making art. You are making a map. It's an honest, raw, visual audit of your psychological state. The whole point is to make the abstract concrete and speed up the change. So you do this inner work, right? But that can only take you so far. And this is the next critical phase. True, lasting change. It becomes real, it becomes survivable when someone else sees it, when you are witnessed. A witness self-integrates so much faster. I mean, this is a fundamental principle of relational psychology. So that brings us to the next set of tools, the tools for outer work. This is all about taking that internal transformation and making it real out in the world, through relationships, through community. So again, 3 paths. Let's break them down. Path 1, call one person, someone who gets it, who knew the before you and can witness the after you. Path 2, build a serious 90-day plan. And I don't mean a vague intention, I mean a protocol, step by step. And third, form a small, structured circle, a crew, people who will hold you accountable for the change you say you want. Think about it like this. You would never ever launch a new product without a detailed project plan, right? So why in the world would you try to rebuild your entire identity without one? Desire is not enough. You can want to change all day long, but without infrastructure, it's just a wish. You need a concrete plan that you can execute with absolute discipline. Okay, but hold on. Let's just stop for a second. What if none of this is a choice? What if this transformation isn't some project you're designing, but something that's happening to you right now? A crisis, a devastating loss, a diagnosis that changes everything. For anyone in that boat, if you feel like you are drowning right now, listen to me. You don't need to analyze some dream. You are living the baptism. This isn't about transformation anymore. This is a directive for pure survival. I need you to hear this. You are already in the water. You're submerged. Your only job is to stop fighting the current. Do you understand? Resisting in deep water is what pulls you under. Your job is not to control this. It's to survive it with your soul intact. So what does that look like? Just 2 steps, that's it. First, you have to trust the buoyancy. Trust that the water will hold you. And what that means, practically, is the second step. Let one person help you. Today. Just one person. Accept one single act of kindness or care that your pride would normally make you push away. That is your lifeline. That is how you're going to survive this.
Okay, let's bring this all back together. That dream we talked about, the baptism, it's not just some interesting psychological movie your brain made. It's an urgent, flashing red light from the absolute edge of what you think you can handle. This is the final mandate.
So all those tools we just went through, the letter, the bath, the plan, the phone call, don't think of them as a list of nice suggestions. They're not. Every single one of them is a door, a real actionable threshold just waiting for you. And all you have to do is choose one and walk through it.
The choice is yours. The water is waiting.